Right, here we are. Possibly the first time you've seen me without glasses, because I've got contact lenses now. Gotta say, I'm very impressed. I'm dressed in this rather strange garb. I know you're not familiar with seeing me in a shirt, because I've been to court today. It's Wednesday the 30th of April. What can I say? Well, I'm going to put this out here. The judge was so bent he probably couldn't have hung a picture straight, to be honest. The amount of the evidence that myself and my friend gave about the council that was ignored, needn't have bothered turning up, really. For those of you who don't know, HDC has been charging, that's Huntingdon District Council, has been charging for trading licences since 1984, and they were supposed to serve a notice on the police and the county council at the time and never did. So it's all legal, you know. I'll cut to the chase. The evidence that the judge ignored was that they didn't have this proof, they hadn't presented it in court. District Council said they'd sought the advice of legal counsel to clarify that they could charge for it. We asked who the legal counsel was, didn't matter, didn't need to know that. And the fact that they obviously hadn't produced these two letters that they'd served notice didn't matter. According to the judge, you're not allowed to look at the council's, your local council's accounts. What else was there? There was a couple of other things. According to the judge, it shouldn't be questioned where 30 years of missing taxpayers' money had gone, because of the report the auditor had given, that the district auditor couldn't find the money, but that was brushed under the carpet as well, and the judge really wasn't having any of it. There was a lot, you know, that's just three examples. And typical of the, dare I say it, Nazi state we live in, to be honest, which is what every single video about the council I've done leading up to this is about. You know, because this just proves the point, really. Obviously, we'll be appealing. I can only say the HDC had a barrister, not one of their own lawyers, barrister from Peterborough, in the Peterborough County Court. How handy is that? So that was all charged to yourselves, the taxpayer as well, his fees, you know. It is just quite incredible, really. You know, the council were obviously panicking. The council licensing officer who was there couldn't answer questions, was looking to the judge for help. I mean, it was absolutely pathetic, to be quite honest. It was such an obvious stitch up. Mr. Stitch Up in Stitch Up Land couldn't have managed a better stitch up. I mean, it was cartoonesque. It was, you know. So I've just got the baseball on in the background here. So I'm just, Yankees are winning, thank God, at last. Honestly, you know, obviously we'll be appealing. The council had been awarded, well, the amount my mate supposedly owes has been awarded to the council, so they're going to be chasing that up, but obviously we'll be appealing. But really, I mean, you know, it's like I say, if it ignored that, you know, if we knew it was going to ignore that much evidence, like I say, I may as well not have turned up. You know, no mention of the fact that they cannot legally charge. It was all about the money that he allegedly owes them. So it was an absolute joke, and just actually a very true portrayal of the justice system in Britain today when you're dealing with these people, these councils, these police. You know, the judge was saying, oh, well, you know, the councils investigated, the ombudsman's investigated, the auditors investigated, the police have investigated, and they've found nothing wrong, so we'll just carry on as normal. Let's move on. I mean, the fact that none of those bodies have actually submitted a final report to say where this money has gone, you know, obviously completely irrelevant. Quite, well, like I say, comical, cartoonesque. Quite unbelievable in a way, but, you know, what do you expect from the bulletin page for our justice system? If you want to know how bad things are in this country, just take a look around. I mean, there's a media blackout in this case. Why is there a media blackout on a council involved in trading licences? I mean, you know, but we know the papers and so on and so forth won't report on it. Just absolutely ridiculous. What can I say? They've won the battle today, you know, they've won the day, but they obviously won't win the war. I had informed the court a while back, they would have got a letter this week, that obviously there's still active investigations ongoing into the police and their lack of action, but that never came up, luckily. And this again, obviously, you know, they haven't invoiced my mate since they illegally took his illegally charged for a licence off him in one of the licensing panels, which I've mentioned prior. So of course they've shot themselves in the foot now, because they're going to have to negotiate to get this money back, which has been awarded if it's not upheld at appeal in favour of my mate. So they'll be getting £1 a day, basically. You know, we all know how it works. I don't think that's any secret. And of course they haven't invoiced them since they did that, so their next step is going to have to be taking up to court all over again at your expense, even though they're breaking the law. And let's not forget, they like to hire a barrister. Forget the fact that they've got, what, 3-4 lawyers in HTC who could have represented them? No, they've got to hire a barrister at your expense. And this bloke really did think he was Rumpole of the Bailey, to be honest. Me and my mate got it slightly wrong today. I went in as his representative, which meant that I couldn't actually represent him, apparently. I could just whisper sweet nothings in his ear about the sort of questions to ask, and so on and so forth. This was another point, actually, because I did say the lawyer who filed the papers has since left HTC, and the licensing officer said she was a fully qualified lawyer who knew exactly what she was doing, but she'd since left. And I whispered something in my mate's ear, and he said, "Right, wasn't she a trainee then?" "Oh," said the judge, "that doesn't matter. Even if she was a trainee, she'd be fully counselled and qualified." District Judge Chowdhury, watch out for him. I forget his first name, but I'm sure you'll get there. Yes, another episode where really, yeah, the council have been awarded costs and obviously the money that they reckon my mate allegedly owes them, but they've just shot themselves in the foot again. I mean, the next step has to be trying to get him off the lay-by, but how can they possibly do that when the question of the trading licences, the legality of the trading licences, has to be raised at that point. So, you know, they might have been able to gloss over it today, but whether they'll even see that money or not is there's obviously going to be a file of complaints being forwarded. So yeah, seriously interesting times, and just question everything, guys, because these people are nothing but bent, bought and paid for. They're all in it together. David Cameron was right about that. He just missed the rest of us out. It really is quite incredible the lengths these people will go to just cover up their own wrongdoings. They will move mountains to not enforce the law. It's absolutely fantastic. And finally now I can talk about all this, because it's been 2 or 3 weeks silent. So yeah, just question everything.